In this video, I'm going to take you from San Jose, Costa Rica, all the way down to the Panama Canal. We will cross international borders, and there's going to be a lot of riding shots in here that you may not approve of. Before everybody starts blasting me in the comments down below, listen, this is the way you ride in these countries. These countries are filled with motorbikes, and there's an old saying, when in Rome. I'll get more details throughout the video as to why and how the riding works in these countries. Last night I arrived at the hotel, met up with a friend of mine, Lori, and Lori has in sections been doing the Pan America Highway, which starts in Alaska and ends at the Panama Canal. This is her last section of it, and she asked me to come down and join her. It's my girl Lori. You guys have seen her ride with me across Mexico, everywhere else. I was just at her wedding with her absolutely amazing husband, Rob. We miss you. Why is Rob not with us?
He's got to make the money so Mama can play.
Rob, you're a good man. He met me with some Jack Daniels and welcome Adam Sandoval, Panama or bust. But for now, let's start in the beginning, show you how and where I got my bike. I'll tell you, this is a documentary of my experiences. If you were to do the same trip, you could probably expect to find some of the same struggles. Good morning, welcome to Costa Rica after a day of traveling. It was totally worth it because I am now downtown picking up my motorcycles. I am at Elephant Moto, and let me tell you something, these guys have been absolutely accommodating. They've gone over and above. Now, these are the owners' bikes here, and they're actually gonna join us for part of the day because the owners of this company are actually real riders. This is the BMW F900 I'm gonna be taking today. Before we go any further, let me take you inside this place because they've got a crazy amount of inventory, pretty much everything you would need. So if you just fly in, you can get what you want. Like I wanted to just do a carry-on, so I didn't pack any riding boots, but guess what? They've got riding boots for adventure bikes in stock, and I ended up buying these from him right here. Everything from jackets to luggage. This is actually the helmet I got. And one of the most beautiful things about it is he is connected throughout the country, and if you got any problems, you can call him, he'll translate for you and help you get through the situation. I'm glad to be connected with a company that actually knows what they're doing. If you want to check them out to see if they got availability, they are limited on the number of bikes they've got, so you want to book far in advance if you can. You go to this website right here on the screen, or check the link down in the description. I'll put it down there for you guys, but what a gorgeous store. Let me introduce you to the owners.
Hi, I'm Esteban with Elephant Moto, and I'm really happy to go ride with Adam today. If you all ever want to come to Costa Rica and go adventure riding, I'll be happy to take you guys around.
Yes, come ride with us.
Costa Rica really is beautiful. These are super nice people. So if y'all get a chance to come down here and ride this, make sure you give these people a call. All right, here we go. Panama or bust. Coming out of the city, having these two escort us was really a blessing. It allowed me not to focus so much on the directions and really be able to look at the community around me. And San Jose, Costa Rica is a pretty large city, and it was nice to be able to just check out all the different buildings and the businesses and the structures, along with him helping get us through the tolls and really just out of the city and onto the roads where, you know, things become much more sparse. We won't see another real large city till we make it all the way down to Panama City. Once leaving the city, the mountains came out of nowhere and the elevation started climbing high. The roads were twisty and windy, and at one point we got so high that in little regions, the clouds were actually coming across the mountain as we were riding through them. It was a pretty rad experience. The very first stop that Esteban took us on was a coffee shop at the top of these mountains. We are about an hour into the trip, and we are on top of this mountain here. We've got riders coming from every direction, and it's beautiful. So they call this mountain Death Mountain, okay? Because in the winters, it would get to be like 30 degrees up here. And back in the day, the people here were not accustomed to that, and they would try to cross over this mountain and not make it. They'd have to turn around and go back because 30 degrees was just an unfathomable temperature for them, you know, in the climate, the southern climate. So pretty different for us. Another thing it's really famous for is its coffee. So we are actually at a coffee place here, and we're gonna get a piece of the local coffee. In fact, the coffee from this mountain, it's called like high coffee, from the high regions of these mountains. This coffee right here actually goes all over the world and actually wins competitions, I'm told. We're actually gonna try some right now. Now I like mine absolutely black. I don't like anything in it. What did you order, Lori?
Cappuccino with milk.
Cappuccino with milk, and
Cappuccino
you?
too.
Cappuccino as well. Well, let's give it a taste. It looks really hot, but I'm gonna taste it. Drinking coffee on the top of a mountain in Costa Rica.
These are to split. This is a typical dish. It's a tortilla with cheese and sour cream. Hope you guys enjoy it.
I love cheese and sour cream.
Me too.
This?
Once leaving the coffee shop, the roads continued to just twist and wind. We're actually riding on Highway 2 at this point, and while it's not very wide, you find that the road condition is really, really good. Looks like a shuttle bus ran off the road. These roads are very tight up here. Shortly after that little roadside incident, we continued to climb until we were actually riding through the clouds. No longer were they just breaking on little spots across the road. We were actually now immersed in clouds that you could barely see in front of you. It was a super unique experience. I've only experienced a few times riding motorcycles where I was up so high, I was actually inside the clouds. And after you came out of those clouds, we started to lower in elevations and the views just were outstanding, man. You could just see forever. Everything was so lush and green. This first day was really turning out to be an absolute beautiful ride. After coming about halfway down off the mountain, headed towards the coast, we hit our very first little town. And this is where you start to experience a lot of the riding I was speaking about earlier. And it's just passing cars on the left and right. Now, one thing you're gonna see throughout this video is this type of driving. And you have to understand, in the States, a lot of times drivers don't want to let you get in front of them. And if you drive like this, they actually get mad at you because they're like, oh, you can't get in front of me. But out here, nobody cares. Nobody's worried. Nobody's upset. They just want you to keep moving. They just want everything to flow and everything to keep moving. It's completely natural for cars to go around each other and nobody to get upset at all. In fact, they're actually looking out for one another and giving them room and space to get around. It really actually makes traffic flow so much smoother and so much easier. It limits congestion, and the locals understand this. Now, after a couple more hours of riding twisty, turny, mountainous roads, we finally ended up down on the ocean. Here is where we broke for lunch. So we just had a beautiful lunch at this Mexican restaurant. Good food and some great company, and this is where we part ways. They are gonna head back
To San Jose.
to San Jose, and I and my friend Lori here are gonna push on, and we're gonna try to hit Panama border tonight. You ready, Lori?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Lori's always ready. We got a nickname for Lori. It's called Last Minute Lori, because you can call her at any moment and be like, hey, what are you doing? And she'll do it. Now Lori and I were on our own through the rest of Costa Rica. We were both excited to see what kind of adventures would come ahead of us, and the roads were wonderful. Of course, it was a bit warmer down here. It was cool up in those mountains. I'm gonna say it was in the high 50s, low 60s, and now we're in like the 80s, and a little bit of rain started to hit us, but it was honestly a welcome sprinkle that cooled us back down. We got a gas stop here, and this car just slid off the road into the ditch right there. I don't know. We hit a little bit of rain coming in here, just a little bit. And it actually felt good, but people are crazy out here. But it's no big deal to the locals. They just all come out and help one another. This guy's about to back up with his Toyota and try to yank him out of there. Everybody just stops and helps yank him back up on the road and goes back about life. No more did we get back on the motorcycles, and it started to downpour. And I'm talking about a solid rain. Had us soaked head to toe. We definitely should have put on our rain gear, but we thought we could make it. We thought it was gonna be spotty, and we were wrong. Dripping from head to toe, we continued to push on into the next couple cities. Even though it was raining and we were drenched from head to toe, it was still enjoyable because the temperatures were warm and the cities were still really unique to check out. Holy cow. That was a rainstorm, to say the least. Oh my God. So much for spotty rain. So we are in Rio Claro, which is about 20 miles from the Panama border. Our goal is to try to get over that border tonight, but the storm, I don't know, man. It's hard to say what's gonna happen with it. We had a little break in the weather, so we thought we'd hit the road and try to push out this last 20 miles. Now keep in mind, when you're riding these bikes on these roads, you're doing 40 to 60 miles an hour. So 20 miles is about another half an hour of riding, maybe a little bit more. But it didn't take that long for it to start raining again, and we were drenched as we reached the border. And when you get to these borders, you've got to go to multiple buildings to get multiple pieces of paperwork, and it was getting dark on us, and we weren't exactly sure where to go. I saw this government building, and it had cover underneath it and a couple motorbikes in it, so I thought, well, we can pull underneath that cover, so at least we can dry out a little bit and get our bearings and figure out where we need to be. I thought maybe even that was the customs building, but I was wrong. Yeah. They told us we had to come here to get our exit tax. Okay, so we found some shelter here. We're actually, I guess, in the police station. These are the police motorcycles in Costa Rica, apparently. We pulled underneath here because it was shelter, and we thought this is where we had to pay an exit tax to leave the country. The border's right around the corner, but apparently we're in the wrong spot. But the police are being super helpful and friendly, so hopefully we'll get this figured out. All right, so Lori's trying to work out with the officer here what we need to do. This is the border. You can kind of see, maybe I'll zoom in, you can see it says Panama up there. It's raining. We are absolutely drenched head to toe. It was intermittent, so we didn't put on rain gear, and the weather was decent, warm, temperature-wise. So we thought maybe we could skate in, but we ended up riding the last hour in just pure rain. We are absolutely soaked, but it looks like we're gonna try to still get into Panama tonight and then find a hotel on the other side of the border. After a bit of discussion, we talked one of the officers into leading us back over to the building it needed to be, which was like another 10 or 15 minutes back where we came from. The cop's bike just died. Here we are on the road, his bike died. Now he got it running again. And after getting to that building that the officer brought us to, we realized that our communication wasn't great, and they thought we were coming into the country and we were at the wrong building. So turn around, ride back through the rain again, and we headed back down to the border. Now, I do apologize for the audio on my microphone. It, was filled with water. We were in a lot of rain. A couple times through this video, the audio might get a little funky for a second or two. Please bear with me. We were we were in some extreme situations. No idea. We just drove all the way out there. That was the wrong place. I think they went to stamp our passport coming into the country. It was just a miscommunication. And so we rode back to town, another 10 miles in the rain. And we found this place right downtown called the Oasis Hotel. And it appears they have cerveza and beds. That's all we need at this point. We'll deal with this stuff in the morning. We are in luck. This is the place. It's called the Oasis. Right in here. All right. Do we know how much these rooms are?
No. How much is the room? How many?
20 cuatro.
Yeah, and dollars?
It's $47 a night for the room. I think we can swallow that. All right, here's my room for the night. This is what you get. 3 beds. I'll only be using 1. Luckily, they had just 2 rooms left. Lori's in 1, and I'm in number 5. All right, so that, oh God, is day 1 riding through Costa Rica. And these boots I just bought were supposed to be waterproof, but I don't think it counts when the water's running down your leg, through your pants, down your calves, into the boot. All right, I'm gonna get out of all these wet clothes. I could wring them out. I'm gonna prop them up to dry. I'm gonna go find a cerveza because the bar and restaurant was closed here. Just gotta go with the flow, man. In these situations, it's all about the adventure. And if you get frustrated or angry when things don't go your way or become more complicated than you thought, you ruin the whole trip. Or you can just enjoy the experience, go with it, and know that you are taking an adventure and that it is something that not a lot of people do. Don't get hung up on the little things, because a year from now, none of those little things are gonna matter. Good morning, welcome to day 2. I am dried out. I feel pretty well rested. We went out, I had 1 beer, a real nice dinner, and we are loading up the bikes this morning to cross over the border into the Panama. How are you feeling this morning, Lori?
Outstanding!
Yes, I love the energy. The bike's doing great. I've got a sealed trunk and then my El Sandoval luggage, which I've got the flap open right now because none of my stuff dried overnight. This stuff is still soaking wet. So the nice thing about this luggage, I got this flap here I can put here. I'm not sealing up my wet clothes in a dry, airtight bag where it's just gonna create mold or get funky. So I can put it here, and as I ride, it will dry out. And then I can transition it to the inside of the bag. That should work great. All right, we're headed to the border right now. Our hotel was just a couple blocks from the border. There it is, right there on the left. But first, we still got to figure out this immigration thing. You guys, we are 3 buildings away. It says customs office right there. It was just hectic in that rain. We were tired, it was getting dark. Lori's gonna go in and check it out. I'm gonna stay here with the bikes. No, we're trying to exit.
Oh, this is the spot.
Yep.
You gotta pay your exit tax right over there.
Oh, you pay the exit tax over there?
Yeah.
You see it, Lori? I don't see it.
That big sign right next to the pizza place. Oh, down there. Okay.
Okay, great. Thanks, man. Well, we're still in the wrong spot, but we're close. Okay, check this out. You see this semi here? When these semis come over the border into the country, they have to do a thing which I believe is called fumigation. You can smell it being sprayed all over that truck. I think they're fumigating it for bugs or something. Okay, I believe we've got everything we need to get across the border. Once we get over there, we have to pick up some insurance. It's a special insurance we have to carry to enter the country. We'll grab that and then we should be on our way. Okay, here's the border. That's Panama. We're gonna go through there. We'll see how this goes.
You want the title of registration next to the country? You got the stamp? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Welcome to Panama. Continue with the car insurance.
This guy's the official guy here. He's gonna take care of us, and he actually speaks pretty good English. So he's taking her to get all the paperwork. And this is the border crossing. You come underneath this. There's no lines, no grates, no scanners, no nothing. And you just enter into Panama. This is not like any border crossing I've been on before. You know, there's some processes, but overall, really doable. Okay, the entire process was about, I'm gonna say 2 hours. And now they're gonna fumigate the bikes, I guess. All right. So here we're gonna do it with a pump sprayer. And what are they fumigating for?
This is for fumigation for the insects
Insects.
from habit in Costa Rica coming to Panama.
Okay.
It's bad for them.
All right, y'all, we are officially in Panama. And I already lost Lori. Okay, now we are officially in Panama. Woo! Passport? And finally, we had made it after the struggles of the rain. The weather was beautiful. We were in Panama. We had made it through the border and all the hoops we had to jump through, and we were on the road, headed for the canal. And then traffic just became super thick. Oh man, there's like some sort of protest or something going on up there. So on these protests, what they're actually doing is they're just going out and shutting down the roads, protesting a mine that's happening in their nation, and they would just shut the main highways down. Luckily in this situation, we were still in the city, so there were some routes around it. It was through some traffic, but we also got to look at some neighborhoods, which was kind of nice. And we just kind of went around the protest and got back to the road. It really probably only delayed us about 30 minutes in total. And we had about an hour of beautiful riding, looking at the little towns and little villages. And I have to say, this place, Panama, in these country towns and in between, seems to really take care of their property. Like everything looked really well manicured and taken care of. All of a sudden the traffic thickened again, and what I feared was a reality. It looks like we've got another protest on our hands. After about an hour of sitting at this protest, because there was no route around, there was no city streets to go around it, we were back on our way. But at this point, we're getting pretty late in the day and the temperatures are getting extremely hot. And it was only another 45 minutes before we hit, you guessed it, another protest. It's blistering hot out. The sun's directly above us and there's absolutely no way to escape the sun. So Lori is going up to talk to the police officers to see if there's any way they can get us up into there. Maybe there's a market or something up there. At least maybe some shade, because we are absolutely cooking out here in the tarmac. It is hot. Hot, hot. And I decided to walk up and look by the protest to see if we could get any water or anything. And I did some recording, but unfortunately I had my camera flipped sideways, so you can see it's a little funky to watch here, but the people are dressed nice. It's super peaceful. All the ladies got their umbrellas for shade. I really just found it interesting how different these protests were from the ones I'm used to in the States, which seem very loud and violent and really aggressive. Finally, back to the road after the third protest. I really started to notice the American influence in Panama. You saw a lot of the big chains you see in America, from the gas stations to the restaurants. There was a lot of familiar signage along the road moving through this country. Here's how we're eating. It's kind of just a buffet all set up. Perfect. Yes. I don't know if this food is just incredibly good or if I'm just incredibly hungry. This is the first meal we've had today. It's 2:34. One thing I've noticed about Panama is there's not a lot of development between cities. Whereas in Costa Rica, you find little huts and little shacks where people have got their own little makeshift kitchens. Not in Panama, man. You gotta run quite a few miles in between cities to find a restaurant. Good food, but now we're back to the road. Unfortunately, it looks like rain ahead of us. Woo! Another rainstorm. We found this bar and grill. We're gonna go chill in here, maybe have some ceviche, see if this rain will break a little bit. We only got a little bit more time to go because we're gonna try to make it to the ocean and sleep in an ocean town tonight. We'll see how it goes. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna use this as a moment to catch up on some of our digital work, then some of that rain pass. The video you're watching today was partially edited at this roadside attraction right here in Panama. Yeah, we're in Panama. And I can call it attraction. They got octopuses and squids painted on the wall. We're gonna try to make it another 30 miles. This time we're putting on the rain gear because it doesn't look like we're getting around this rain at all. I really don't like riding in the rain out of country. But a lot less people text and drive here, so it might even be safer, I don't know. And rain it did on us, and not only rain, but it got dark really fast. We were pushing the end of our day. Okay, there's the water. You can't really see it because it's dark out. So all the fishing boats are lined up. It's pretty cool, really. We don't really know where we're going. We are just playing it by ear. There are a lot of dogs around though. Easy, boy. So I'm pretty sure that was someone's backyard. They turned lights on us, but they did not come out. So the one thing I did read is stay out of unpopulated areas. And we are definitely in unpopulated areas here. We're gonna try to find our way out. We don't know what any of these signs say. We've hit a dead end. Another dead end. There's a gate there, and they are not letting us through.